We're gonna watch the dev talk. AP 60. We'll turn on captions, leave on captions. I'm very curious what's going on. So apparently there's a new character, Shi Yuan. As well.
Hello everyone, I'm Wide. Welcome to today's dev talk.
He's speaking
nearly a
English.
year
Let's
since
go.
The official release of ZENLESS 0, and we like to thank all proxies for their support. Our team will also like to use this opportunity to share with you some of the development progress for version 2.0 and our plans for the future of ZENLESS 0.
Okay. So what's the plan for the season 2 story? Yes.
Season 2 story. We will follow the
We're gonna find the idols
to a unique area within New Eritol, Wi-Fi Peninsula.
Wi-Fi
Which will be the
Peninsula.
main stage
Okay.
for the story of version 2.0.
Wait, the main
Wi-Fi Peninsula is a district of the Throne Quarter.
a new hollow.
The earlier settlers of this region were tasked to monitoring the highly volatile Lemania Hollow.
Okay.
And the name Wi-Fi is derived from the Cantonese characters for protect and anomaly.
Ooh.
From the phrase protection from the anomaly called the hollows.
Okay.
Later, an outpost was established here, which then became the city area Phalium Heights. Phalium Heights was built at the top of a cliff, overlooking the bay with its beautiful scenery. This is also an area rich in porcelain, a precious material that's highly resistant to ether corrosion. Mining and processing.
So are they gonna making like armor out of this so people can go in? Wait, I heard something about that the proxies are gonna be able to go into hollows now, like themselves. So are they gonna be getting like clothes or something made out of this porcelain so that they can be protected from the corruption from the hollows? Possibly? Question mark. Time to see if you catch the reference. OG Yishuan. Who is Yishuan? Is that like a Honkai character? Because I don't recognize the name. And I'm a Honkai player.
Behind this massive industry and its profits, however, lies a tangled mess of factions. Here, we'll gradually unravel the clues we planted. Throughout the story this fall,
You watch another 2 minutes?
Sarah's true plans behind the sacrifice and the bringer incidents.
Oh yeah, because they were like serving someone else, so it seems.
Exhausted, and the truth behind the fall of the old capital.
See, okay, I actually do enjoy ZZZ's story, so I hate that I haven't been paying attention as much because I have no idea who the Exaltus are. I probably do, but I don't. But it probably went in one ear and went out the other. But they're talking about this, and I have no idea who they're talking about, and it hurts because I actually do enjoy the story, but I haven't been like reading everything and like every little thing, so I don't know who these are. I think that's the second question for Yishuan. Okay.
As well as the secrets of the Faison siblings.
Okay.
Meanwhile, our protagonists will encounter agents from various factions and
she's teased on the hollow story. You need to do okay.
For example.
Wait, so Yishuan is teased on the hollow story that I need to do. The Lost Void story. It says it's completed, but I haven't done it, so I don't know why it says that. So if that's the case, then we'll probably get a little bit of that. But I need to know who, like, what is this about Exaltus? Because I've heard Vanity talking about it, right? I've heard him mention it multiple times, but I don't know who they are. I would love to maybe have like a sit down and be like, hey, explain the story to me. Who are the Exaltus and whatnot? You meet a tiger girl and she mentions her. This video is her actual reveal. Is this like is she supposed to be like the character that people are saying that Ambi was cloned off of? Dude, I need to watch the fucking character trailers and whatnot as well because I'm so behind on, and they reveal so much story in those. Oh, this sucks.
That way seeker with yellow.
I'm assuming that's her. Yishuan. Let me back up. Wait. There she is. They
and embark on brand
who
will encounter agents from
various factions. Okay.
And embark on brand new adventures. For example, that way seeker with
I will be pulling her.
we saw earlier is none other than
Wayseeker with the yellow cape. Who is this in main story? So, but she's the current leader of the Yunqui Summit.
Then Yixuan, the current leader of Yunqui Summit. She
Yunqui
will
Summit.
make her debut as a key character in season 2. As the
I
story
need-
unfolds, the protagonist will gradually uncover her mysterious
Only mentioned in the
past
Hollow story. Well,
and
then why do they
become
make it seem
a
like
new
we encountered her
disciple
before?
of Yunqui Summit. Yixuan will become our steadfast support and guide us in her craft as our
You don't get the HOV reference? She had wings. There wasn't really any HOV other than like colors. Honestly, there wasn't any. I didn't really get any HOV vibes from that. Let me look at her.
locate we saw.
Yeah, no, I don't get any HOV vibes from that. Other than color, but even then, it's still not the same.
Earlier is none other
Yeah, none.
than Yixuan, the current leader of Yunqui Summit.
The eyes don't
She
even
will
have
make
the
her
little
debut
markings.
As a key character in season 2.
Like,
As the story
like the unknown goddess in Genshin has markings on her eyes like HOV, but Yixuan does not have any markings on her eyes, like any symbols on her eyes.
unfolds, the protagonist will gradually uncover her mysterious past and become a new disciple of Yunqui Summit. Yixuan will become our steadfast support and guide us in her craft as our mentor, helping us explore the hollows directly.
Okay.
Beside Yixuan, who
So we're gonna be going into, yeah, this was the thing. We're gonna be,
helping us steadfast support.
she'll be our
and guide us
support.
in her craft as our mentor.
So if we're going into the, if we're going into the hollows directly, then does that mean that Yixuan also does not have very good ether corruption resistance, but she has some sort of method that she's able to do, and she teaches that to the proxies as well, to us?
Helping us explore the hollows directly. Beside Yixuan, who oversees Yunqui Summit, the defense forces Obo Squad that we all familiar with, as well as the previously revealed idol faction Angels of Delusion, will all be making their appearance in season 2.
Finally, okay, so we learned about them at like literally the start of ZZZ about the idols, quite literally, and we're also getting the rest of Obo Squad in season 2.
We've prepared a
Bet.
season 2 teaser trailer to be released on April 13th.
I will be watching
More
this.
information about the various factions will also be revealed then.
I will be watching. Some part is explained in 1.6 story. The other is new info on this, like the twins getting abilities to explore Hollow in person. Okay, so this is like half expanding on what was talked about in 1.6 story, and the other half is new info. Pretty much. Compared to a regular update, what's special about the content of season 2? Well, more of this will make sense tomorrow when we play through 1.6 main story, because you said it's like 4 hours, so I should be able to get through all that tomorrow, no problem.
For the content direction of season
Wait for Friday live to get more. Wait, April 13th is Friday? Are you serious? No. Today's Tuesday. Today is Tuesday. Friday would be like the 11th. 13th is Sunday. 13th is Sunday. So yeah, Friday is the 11th. Well, Monday for you, but Sunday for me. Sunday is Monday for you, Sunday for me. Actually, wait, no. 13th is Sunday for everybody. That's not, yeah, no. That's not how time zones work. 13th is Sunday for everybody, but probably your time it would be more into Monday on the 14th.
season 2 will not just be
Did they say what the
13th. More information about the various factions
No,
will
they
also
didn't.
be revealed then.
They just said on the 13th. So I'm assuming this is China time, April 13th, so probably Saturday. Late night Saturday, if anything.
For the content direction of season 2 will not just be simply adding more characters and areas.
Good.
We've been taking feedback from our practice very seriously and incorporated this feedback into our design.
So is this where they're talking about boosting
making
old characters and making them,
from the ground up.
they're going to make them more
I'll be
relevant?
sharing some of the results with you all through during the program.
I want to see
Noticeable
Zhiyuan.
change is in the map design.
Map is
We
okay.
completely revamped the entire map experience.
How so?
and
Like the
integrate
gameplay map?
Residential areas with combat zones at the system level,
Wait, what?
providing a more fluid and engaging gameplay experience
Okay.
for properties.
Bet.
First, let's talk about the design of the main city area, Beilong Heights. We made the area
So
much
we're
larger
getting
to
combat
ensure
areas
comprehensive city
that blend into
functionality,
the residential
while
areas.
allowing for potential expansion in future versions, while also reducing loading times caused by scene transitions. The new daily system will also be designed
Wait, so if they're talking about reducing loading times caused by this makes me think of like God of War and also Final Fantasy VII, like the remake series, and also Monster Hunter World, because Monster Hunter World does this. Even though we don't regularly interact with the seamless transition zones because they're long hallways that act as loading zones, right? That's pretty much what this is going to be as well. That's how they do this. They give you seamless transitions, which give you the illusion of a lack of a loading screen, but those long hallway transition zones are your loading screens. So they're going to be doing this, it seems, by giving you a way to go directly from the residential areas to the hollows directly, as opposed to needing to go through like the HDD and go through a bunch of loading screens. You just walk from one area to the next. I'm actually really intrigued by that. I want to see how they
will also be designed
really
to
enact
match
on
the
it.
local culture and the customs of the
Wait, new
Wi-Fi
daily
Peninsula
system?
area. As a business-savvy
How's-
video
okay.
store owner,
Wait,
help
what?
with the Wi-Fi Peninsula area.
Local culture
As
and
a
customs. All
business-savvy
right.
video store owner,
Interesting.
helping Yunhui Summit manage various aspects of Suibian Temple will also be a part of our new life.
Ooh.
This new gameplay
Yo, wait, I love how, okay, I just want to say, I love how they built this into the side of the mountain. So first and foremost, it reminds me of this one city in China, which is pretty much built into a mountain. It has like 20 different fucking levels, right? It's super freaking huge. I can't remember what the name of the city is, like Guang something, I don't know. But it just reminds me of that. But also, it reminds me of kind of just the idea of building into the side of a mountain. It reminds me of like Europe, even though it's not Europe, because there are some areas in Europe where they build into the side of a mountain and it's really freaking cool. Like there's this one village that I visited last time I went to Germany. Is it either Oberstein, where they have a church built literally into the side of a mountain, and you literally scale the side of the mountain to get up to the church, and it's really freaking cool. Chongqing, yes, thank you, Terrence. So this reminds me of Chongqing as well, very much so. So I'm really curious how they're gonna work on this, if it's like all these different levels, or if it's built in the side of a mountain. And it's like all these different levels, if we're going to have that. The big thing about Chongqing, though, that's a big drawback, is because of the fact that you have like so many different levels, it's really difficult to get around because there's no like standardized leveling thing. Like I remember seeing this one person's vlog, and they were staying at this one hotel in Chongqing, and they were at one part of the city. They entered the hotel here, but in order to get to their room, they had to go up and down like between different levels and leave the hotel and get back in on a completely different level, because of the fact that they don't like their elevators and whatnot, their transportation between levels isn't like standardized. You have to, it's like a maze of elevators just to get to your room, and it took this guy like an hour to get to his room from the entrance, because he had to go like up and then go down like 4 floors, and then go up a few floors and go across the entire building, go out, enter in another area to get to a different elevator. And it was just really confusing. And it's like that for the entire city. And I don't know if they're going to do that for this. One, that'd be very convoluted and would be bad gameplay experience, but 2 would be really cool because it's like real life being put into the video game to a degree. I wonder if they're going to do that.
Also be a part of our new life.
I think that'd be
This
really
new
interesting.
gameplay features management simulation elements, and the new features such as
Bangboot. Wait, are we getting like commission dispatch stuff? Like in Honkai, where you send characters out on commissions? How in Genshin you can like go send your characters to do different things on the map, and the same thing in PGR has that. HSR has the assignments. Are we getting that in ZZZ now? But with our Bangbus instead?
Residential areas with exploration areas, and creating a smoother experience. As for the visuals,
yes, but with Bangbu, dude, that's actually really cool.
And the careful maintenance of the proxies, Temple
I wonder if it'll give the Bangbus
glory. Plus,
experience as well.
Various elements such as holes, scratch cards will take on new forms that match the vibes of Temple. The
better gacha within gacha
issues has also been resolved in Failum Heights. Previously, due to a limitation in the underlying design, the video store that proxies see from outside along the street does not match the actual size of the video store.
That is true. I did notice that a long time ago, and I was like, I just didn't say anything.
Of the store. In Failum Heights, however, returning home is no longer a process that requires waiting.
I wish they could show some gameplay.
The pathway in Failum Heights. The function area will
but I'm really
more concentrated, and the path to access
I'm really looking forward to seeing this.
Will become more efficient and streamlined, ensuring that overall experience will become smoother and more fluid. Next, let's take a look at the ancient rooms of the
Aerospace City. What?
Within the Lemnian Hollow.
Chat, as an engineer, you have no idea how much this makes me like Aerospace City. I want to see so many. I want to see like planes and helicopters and futuristic shit, bro. I want to see like cool fighter jets and like AC-130 above. I want to see all of it. I need to see that. I need to see this. Sunbringer lore? Is Sunbringer from Aerospace City within the Lemnian Hollow? Sunbringer was the Kiana lookalike that people were like, oh, that's Void Drifter. I don't think so. First and foremost. Second of all, though, that's Sunbringer, though. Is she from Aerospace City? If that's the aesthetic of Aerospace City, one, it doesn't match the name, but I could be wrong too. But three, I'm looking so forward to the vibes of Aerospace City as well. Just overall.
The Aerospace City has long been devoured by the Hollow.
So it's kind of like Old Eridu in that other city we went to in chapter 1. During the train arc, during like the very first arc of the game, there was that other city that was like swallowed up by the Hollow, and there were a bunch of people that were like stuck in there, and we had to help them escape. But the PubSec didn't want to. Like PubSec was essentially, what's the word? Forcing them to be casualties against their will. Well, she could fly, so might most likely have some connection. Not pubs. It wasn't. No, it was PubSec. It was PubSec ran by fucking. It was like the corrupt section of PubSec. I would say. Pretty much. The corrupt section of PubSec. I think. The company with the ball dude. Yeah, his name was I forget his name, but it's the small dude with the beard that was like being chased after during the Outer Ring arc. I can't remember his name. I don't know why. He was the mayor.
Area at its age is still being used to mine and produce porcelain.
Wait, so Aerospace City has an ether like non-ether. It's an ether safe area. It's not within the Hollow, so it's like how like the Ballet Twin towers, the Ballet Twins. How there was like a portion of the Ballet Twins that was outside of the Hollow, and so it's like if you were up there, you were perfectly fine. But once you like passed through that area, you were then within the Hollow, and everything just went into disarray within the Ballet Twins. Ooh, I'm interested. Also, kind of like Port Elpis, how like half of Port Elpis is swallowed up by not Hollow Zero, but that other Hollow. I can't remember the name of it.
In version 2.0, we will begin our.
I'm expecting Aerospace City to be very, I want to say affluent, but not affluent, but profitable, because of the fact that they're mining this porcelain consistently. So they probably have a very good economy going on there as well. Well, also more than likely being very technologically advanced, even though most of Aerospace City has been swallowed up by the Lemnian Hollow.
For exploration of the Lemnian Hollow from the edge of the Aerospace City, with the past few versions as precious learning experience, its overall design will be more refined, with larger explorable areas, more robust systems, and more streamlined guidance. One improvement is that after completing their training at Suibian Temple, the proxy siblings no longer needed to return to
this was the big thing.
The hollows
they can go in directly now.
System. Instead, they can now travel more conveniently between Helium Heights.
So they're getting rid of the HUD and the Bangbu system, which one sucks, but also is good because more immersiveness. Heightens the immersiveness of the game even more, which it's like bittersweet because I kind of did enjoy the TV system to a degree. It gave for interesting gameplay moments, but I did get to experience what it's like without the TV system on the older chapters, because they said that they weren't going to get rid of the TV system, but then they kind of ended up doing away with it completely. Because I had to go back and replay one of the main story missions during the chapter 2 interlude, which was the Zhu Yuan story. And I was taken aback because I was fully expecting the Bangbu, the TV gameplay. And I was taken aback because now it's suddenly like you're in the hollow with Eos gameplay. And I was just confused. I'm like, what? This wasn't like this. So they're doing away with it, and I'm like happy because the immersiveness is getting better, but also a bit sad because it's like, damn, that gameplay was actually kind of fun to a degree. But having less time on my hands now, I've grown to more appreciate the more in-person gameplay as opposed to dealing with the clunkiness of TV gameplay. It had its charm, but I need to value my time more, and I feel like it more in like less TV mode and more actual gameplay is more valuable to me. Having less time. So what are the new improvements in the new version?
While we've added new areas,
tell me.
The travel system wasn't just simply expanded upon. In Season 2, we've redesigned the travel system.
I think you can toggle it, but the button is weirdly placed for it. I haven't seen it, so I haven't even seen it there. But apparently for the newer chapters, it's not even there at all. Like the newer chapters does not have any toggle. It is purely EOS gameplay. So
changing
we'll
from
see.
The original sliding area selection system to a larger map format, while also improving the UI experience.
Wait, say that again?
Larger map
the original
sliding area selection system.
Original sliding area selection system. So is this talking about how they had like the train cars and whatnot that gave you like different bridges between areas or whatnot? And you just have one giant map without the need for like these automated systems, mechanical systems to transport you from one sub area within this big map to another. Chapter 3 onwards is full EOS. No, not chapter 3 was the Ballet Twins. So it's actually chapter 4 onwards. Chapter 4, 5, and 6 are fully EOS, but chapter 3 is the Ballet Twins, and that is that still has the TV gameplay. The map to teleport. Oh, that's what you're talking about. Okay. Wait, but how are they gonna? Are they gonna like make you go into the train station now and make you choose from a list as opposed to? Because you can go into the train station, but when you get on the train or whatever, it still brings up the sliding area selection system that they're talking about. They're adding it. Oh, so we're actually gonna get like a physical map that shows the world. Oh, that's gonna do so much for that's gonna do so much for lore by actually giving you a layout of the land of ZZZ of Eridu. We kind of already have it. I remember seeing Vanity talk about it a little bit and bring it up at like one point in time way back in the day. We kind of have something like that, and it was kind of brought up, I think, through the Void Hunter teaser that we got with the 3 Honkai lookalikes that people are saying, the Void Hunters. So I'm really curious to see what the actual like mini map and full map of Eridu and new Eridu is going to be like. I'm really curious seeing new Eridu, and then the outer ring, and seeing then now we're getting the Yunhui fucking what, I can't remember what it's called, but I'm really curious about this.
To a larger map format. We're also improving the UI experience.
Improving the UI experience, okay.
We also added a mini map to the interface.
There, that's what you're saying, the mini map. You spoiled it.
Can now select their destination more quickly and again a clear understanding of new Eridu's geographical layout.
Oh, they're gonna show it?
Regarding class structure,
oh wait, no.
we've also noticed.
So these are the side stories.
Since special episodes and basin stories are relatively independent story units.
Maybe on Friday,
the
maybe.
current narrative structure results in weaker.
Is Friday the live stream for next patch? I haven't seen or heard anything.
Plot points, resulting in a disjointed viewing experience.
What I will say about the side stories, though, is it makes for more manageable content because it allows players to pick and choose what they want to play when they want to play it, right? You don't have any story locking stuff other than like character trust event progression and whatnot, or unlocking the ability to build characters' trust. Other than that, like there's no. You get maybe a little bit loss of lore because the side stories delve more in on the character's background and their own personal stories, which opens up the world of ZZ just a little bit more by giving you the background behind some of these playable characters. But it's not like how we have, the interlude stories, which are more impactful character / team story quests. So it's like we have the main story and the interlude story, which is part of the main story, but then you have these character quests, which are more detailed backgrounds behind some of these other characters that you can play as, which it's nice because it doesn't impact your experience of the story as much. I still personally want to go through and play these stories. It's just, oh man, finding the time to actually do this is really difficult. Most likely for Blizzard reason, the patch will be live the same day as Xbox reveal. Oh, that's right, because they did mention that ZZ is coming to Xbox. I forgot about that. Unfortunately, I don't play Xbox, but big ups to people that actually play ZZZ, that are going to be playing ZZZ on Xbox, that don't have like a PlayStation and don't have as good of a computer or a phone to actually play the game. They'll actually be able to experience the game and enjoy it a lot more. First Hoyo game to actually go to a Microsoft platform that is not PC. So I'm actually really excited about that. The more people that can actually play the game, I'm happy.
In future versions, we will merge special episodes and basin stories together.
Wait, they're making it mandatory to play now? It's gonna make the game feel more bloated. And what I mean by bloated is like, yes, it'll feel more connected, but it's gonna take people a lot longer to get through the game. As long as they make it optional in a good way, and not make it like you have to play this in order to progress the story, I'll be happy with it. As long as they don't make it mandatory to play the character stories, I'll be happy about it. I still want to play them. You need context for story like Ambient 1.6. And so there are certain exceptions, right? I don't think the Ambi story is before the 1.6 story, right? It'll be a 1.6 story, then Ambi and Trigger story, right? For the Haramasa thing? Yeah, but you didn't play Haramasa's story doesn't affect the main story at all. Like it unlocks after you complete the main story, and it's its own separate thing that just is like, hey, Haramasa's cured now. Also, we introduced this enemy type. That's it. Like, hey, Haramasa's cured of his sickness now. Yay. It was a good story, don't get me wrong. I actually really liked it, but it doesn't feel as like necessary.
Putting more focus on developing the connection between the various agents and the main storyline. We're also deepening the proxies environment. We will also steadily update the main storyline with each version, while ensuring that we do not compromise on its narrative quality. In addition to ongoing gameplay improvement.
Because ZZZ has Very good story. People were, I remember at the start of the game, people were like, oh my gosh, this story is like so mid, it's all over the place, there's no focus. But the way they were doing it is that they were, you know, telling different parts of the story, and it all came together at the peak of chapter 5. So honestly, it's, I think the story is really freaking good. Do I think it's as good as like Honkai's story? No, but that's because one, the game has been going for so many years now, but also it's been a game that's more focused on the characters themselves as opposed to the world as a whole. Whereas ZZZ, yes, is largely more focused on it's ZZZ strikes a good dynamic between character balance and world balance as well. It other than Honkai, it strikes a very good balance between the characters and the world building aspect, which is really fresh and nice to see, and I actually really enjoy it a lot. Whereas Star Rail and especially Genshin, they focus more on the world as opposed to the characters. Star Rail has a little bit more characters than Genshin in terms of like focusing on the characters, I should say, than Genshin. But Genshin is largely about the world itself, and it doesn't feel as much on as focused on the traveler as much as the world, and that sucks. Because you have the traveler that just asks the same question over and over and over again. Nothing happens, and we're only going to get it answered after we fucking 7 years later after the launch of the game in Snezhnaya, which is annoying. Or 6 years, sorry, not 7, because Liyue and Mondstadt came out at the same time. But now Star Rail, man, I don't even know what the focus is for Star Rail. I honestly feel like Star Rail lost the plot. It's like, hey, they started out cool. It's like, hey, it was the mystery behind the Stellaron, and you are the beholder of the Stellaron and the Stellaron hunters. And it's like they kind of bring it in here and there. I'm gonna do this because I noticed ZZZ in the background a little bit. It wasn't actually full screen. They kind of like bring in the Stellaron hunters here and there, more so than what Genshin does with its main story. So you get here and there a little bit of like interaction between the Trailblazer and Stellaron hunters, but we still have, there's like, Star Rail lacks focus. That's my issue. And I think that, and I don't think anybody's pointed it out, is that Star Rail's story lacks true focus. You don't know what you're doing, why you're doing it. It's just like after Bellabog, it was like, damn, okay, here's Shanzhou Luofu. Why are we here? Don't know. Okay, next Penacony. Why are we here? We got invited, and then suddenly something happened here. Why are we really here though? Yeah. Oh, here's the real reason why we're here in Penacony, because because the last member of the Trailblaze thing, right? I haven't even started Emphorius, but I can tell it's gonna be off the rail. I don't know, man. I don't know. But ZZZ actually has focus like Honkai has focus, and I really commend them for that, because every little bit of ZZZ's gameplay and story feels like there is focus. It's all building back up, like it's all interconnected between, like, we know that the main overarching story is finding out what happened to the siblings, finding out what went on in Old Eridu, finding what went on in the academy. I can't remember the name of the academy. Finding whatever happened to their instructor and why she's like one of the damned, I would say. I can't remember the actual term that they used to describe her, but she's like one of the enemies, I would say. And everything was connected as a whole, which is why ZZ's story is so good. It's all connected, all leads into itself. And it's like, even though it may seem at times like, oh, we're focusing on this instead of focusing on the siblings, it's focusing on the twins, it's still all connected because everything leads back to it, right? You had the very start where it's like, oh, the cunning hares, and you know, they were all dealing together with Faith and whatnot. And then you had Bellabog, and they came in because of the conflict with the train, and then you had, it's all connected, man. There's nothing, everything is connected. There's little to say, but it's all connected, and that's why it's so good.
Has also been
all right,
constant addition
tell me
to
about gameplay improvements.
Our team has also been constantly exploring the idea of bringing ZENLESS Zero to users.
Oh, they're going to talk about Xbox now?
What I can reveal right now is that ZENLESS Zero is being prepared for launch on the Xbox platform.
Good.
We'll share more info with everyone during the upcoming Xbox live stream.
That's going to be a Friday, right? What are plans for adjustment for the combat system? Good. This is them talking about buffing old characters and actually overhauling them.
Significantly diminishes the presence of the characters other than the main DPS.
This is true.
What should be a 3-person tactical squad feels more.
You know, I kind of talk about this in my Ambi video. I did kind of talk about this, so definitely go watch the Ambi video.
More like a solo operation. So for the character combat design in Season 2,
I just want to say as well that the combat feeling a lot like character solo operation. I did mention this with Ambi, how it feels the exact same way. She's the large driver of this new team Aftershock team archetype. Very much so. So
holy, I didn't even know.
Holy Ricky! Holy crap! I appreciate it, bro.
we will enhance the functionality and performance of non-DPS characters.
Let's go!
For example, when agents are switched out, they can still remain on field and contribute to combat. Thus, there's a visual indication of their combat performance.
They're having more off-field.
While not affecting the player's control of the...
So everything else got moved to the bits. So I just rotated rotated some.
Of
Also, him saying this, I'm assuming that they're going to be bringing Aftershock as like... I feel like the Aftershock is their first foray into this like system of characters being on field. But I'm wondering if
their combat performance. Well,
they're gonna make it. If they're gonna make it more mainstream as opposed to just being a specific team archetype.
And defense mechanics
oh.
Specific
okay.
Might require specific counter strategies.
Tell me.
Require teamwork from different characters in your squad, or in certain special combat areas. Enemies can gain certain advantages through specific conditions.
Oh, they're okay. Enemies. I thought they were gonna say. I thought he said agents for a second. I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that, but enemies. Okay. Okay. So making gameplay a little bit more dynamic, needing to work around the enemies. As long as they don't make the enemies like too unwieldy, unfightable, because HSR has done that, and the game is power creep to all hell now. I will be pulling for Castris. I don't care. Or the augment thing for Honkai. I don't think they're going the augment route with characters. They said they talked about buff, so I don't know, I don't even know. I don't think we've hit the point yet in the video, but they talk about either buffing them or outright overhauling them. So I don't think we're getting augment, but we'll actually be getting like full-blown changes. So maybe like people will be sad about old versions of their characters being gone, so they might do augment. But I think if they do the augment thing, I would be wary if they made it paid. I think there would be a lot of backlash from the player base if they made it 1, paid, or 2, exorbitantly over expensive, to where it's either a humongous time sink and they add more into the game than you can retroactively obtain. So it's like the amount that you, the rate of, so put it this way, if Honkai still went down the augment core rate, it would be the sense of like them releasing new characters and them also releasing augment cores, but then the amount of time it would take to get the augment core and also for new characters would be longer than it originally took just for new characters, and the only way to maintain it would be through paid means. I don't think that'd be a very good thing, and I hope they don't go down that route, because it's a very slippery, a very, very, very slippery slope, and it can very quickly lead to large backlash from the community if they don't execute it right. It's the best way I can see them doing it is if they do decide to go down the augment core route, they just give it to you outright, or they make it very easy to grind for it to where you don't need to spend, because the big thing about ZZZ, right, and I've talked about this so much, is how terrible it feels to go through and farm for characters, because like farm for new characters, because of the fact that it takes so much dennies, it takes so much stamina, it takes so much like character building resources just to farm for a brand new character. It takes so much to where like we're in 1.6 and I still am having to farm, like I still can't farm drive discs. I cannot farm drive discs, and so my characters are suboptimally geared still. My Ambi is not where I want her to be. She's not. And Trigger is not where I want her to be either. She's in a worse state than Ambi by far. My two worst built limited characters right now are Jane Doe and Trigger. And that's because you just can't farm for them. And there's like no way to get the other drive disc materials other than farming for drive discs. Because the other ways to actually get those drive disc craftable materials in the game, you get very little and they cost so much. So you're like forced to grind drive discs, and it just does not feel good that we can't grind drive discs yet, because it costs so much to upgrade characters. Like I would say to properly build a new character, you'd probably be spending like 3 million dennies. And if you use 300 stamina on dennies that day, you probably get about 300,000 dennies. So you're probably spending, if you were just spending your stamina on dennies, it'll probably take you like at least a couple weeks just to get enough dennies to fully build a character on launch. Oh, all right, let's continue. Where were we? We were talking about the upgrade characters. So they're talking about enemies gaining certain advantages through specific conditions. I'm very curious how this is going to work out.
Of course, some of these are just preliminary ideas, while others might make an appearance in the version 2.0.
Oh, we're going to get a sneak peek?
However, the ultimate goal of these optimizations...
Wait, version 2.0 is not Vivian, right? Vivian is the last update of 1.x? Or is Vivian 2.0? Are Vivian and Hugo 2.0? First and foremost, I'm skipping Hugo. I don't care for him. And I'm not opposed to pulling guys. I literally pulled Lighter and Haramasa. I just don't like Hugo.
Is to enhance overall synergy between characters, elevating both combat and visual experience to the next level.
Vivian should be 1.7. Okay, so if Vivian is 1.7, but we're also getting version 2.0 live stream. I don't know when they're going to be doing that. Unless they're going to combine 2.0 with the version 1.7. But then they're going to do a second 2.0 live stream. No, they're just announced these. So 1.7 might be the last patch of 1.x. So we're going to go 1.7 2.0. That should be interesting. Can you share any insights on the design direction for upcoming version events? Oh boy. Now we're talking events.
To sum up, in our future development plans, we are aiming to optimize events in 3 aspects.
Okay, here's my issue with events, right? They don't feel worthwhile, they take too long to get through, and they feel far too tedious. If you addressed all 3 of those, I will be happy.
First, we'll continue improving on existing...
Because they take far too long to get through because of the fact that not everybody does them at once, but then there's so many events that they all pile up, and it just feels overwhelming to get through.
Game modes, such as Grand Muscle Adventure, Bamboo vs. Israel, and so on, to make them more fun for
PvZ
players. At the same time, we'll be rolling out more exciting new gameplay. In future versions,
or is that Bloons Towered events? I think those Bloons Towered events. These zone balloons.
Casual duels between bamboos, or even get to control a giant bamboo in
giant bamboo in combat? What is this? Pokemon Scarlet Violet? Or wait, It was Sword Shield introduced Gigantamaxing, right?
Combat.
I don't know. I haven't played those games. I stopped playing Pokemon with Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon.
Bamboo. We will also introduce some slow-paced, relaxing events to enrich Proxy's everyday life outside of the main story, such as spending joyful moments with agents at Hot Pot,
My wife!
restaurant, movie theaters, and more.
I need to do more of the
We also
hangouts
hope that
stuff.
Beyond the intense and the thrilling combat events,
Invite and
players
run
can
around the city
also
with them.
take a breather to enjoy the lighter story events.
So if everything goes well with ZZZ, I can see myself pretty much predominantly, as far as gachas go, playing only Honkai and ZZZ. Because Genshin and Star Rail have dropped the ball so damn hard, and Wua takes too much time and doesn't feel as worthwhile. Like, I don't think Wua's dropped the ball. It's just it's built up so much, and it just feels overwhelming to try to take it on when I want to take on these two games first and foremost, Honkai and ZZZ. So throwing Wu in a mix just doesn't feel good for me right now, unless I somehow get more time on my hands. But that's not going to come for... I mean, I'd probably stay at my job for at least a year. So are there any plans in future versions regarding characters released early in the game? So this is where they talk about buffing and overhauling older characters. And I hope that they do justice to Ellen and Zhu Yuan, because I love them so much. And Ellen just pales in comparison to Miyabi. Like, Ellen does not feel good, I think, unless you have like M2. Or is it M1? M1 gives you the single charge. Yeah, single charge for full stacks instead of having to do 2 charges. GUN feels like okay right now. M0. I still have her M0 E1. Same thing for Ellen. I don't have any mind skips on any limited characters. Provided life goes well, that may change. I already talked about M6ing GUN. And if they overhaul her and make her even better M6, oh man, I'm so happy. But even at M6, she still kind of slays. She's like... I think at M6 she's as good as as like maybe M2 Miyabi or something like that.
Is the result of our team's blood, sweat, and dedication.
Yeah, so if the characters are a result of their team's blood, sweat, and dedication, here's the thing. I don't think it's good to leave characters in the dust, because if they really care for their characters and then they want them to feel the longevity, they want them to feel good, they want them to stand the test of time. This is like them acknowledging that the game, yes, the game is a gacha, but at the same time, we also love our game so much, and we know you guys love the game so much, we don't want it all to feel not. And so we want to minimize the effects of power creep as much as possible and let older characters shine just as much as the new characters. So it's like, you can pull whenever and still, like, you can pull at the start and never pull again and still feel fine, or you can pull newer stuff and not care for the older stuff and still be fine. So you can either lean into power creep, or you could stay away from power creep, but you both will still be able to do the exact same thing with the exact same amount of effort. And I like that.
Our team has put in quite a bit of effort to ensure characters are relatively future-proof and have long-term value.
I hope this remains true till the end of time for this game, because games like these, Honkai prime example of what happens when you don't allow characters to be future-proof and stand the test of time. My first go-to example is GK, HOV, God Kiana, Hersher the Void. She was so freaking powerful when she launched in CN, they nerfed her post-launch. And then they launched her in her nerf state on Global. And then they released Hersher of Reason. And Hersher of Reason is stronger than nerfed HOV. And now you just can't do anything with HOV because she's just pales in comparison to the HP values and attack values and defense values and motion values and like the amount of time that hitbox stay active and whatnot, and how many hits enemies do as well. HOV just does not stand the test of time at all. Another good example, Vermilion Night Eclipse does not stand the test of time whatsoever. Like, the older characters in Honkai, just you cannot do anything with them if you try to take them into your content. And that's why like if I was to attempt doing a tier list for Honkai, it'd be, you would see like it's hard to have a tier list and make it be entertaining, because the only way I can feasibly see that is have it be like 2 hours long and then go through the life cycle of the game and be like, here are the characters at this point in time. As characters go on, hey, these characters drop in value and they go along into like the DF tier with all the other characters that were there at the start of the game, just because that they just don't stand the test of time. It's the time and the tried and true tale of power creep, where the old stuff just phases out and new stuff is what matters the most. And if you are trying to survive in new content with old stuff, you're just not gonna stand up. You're just not gonna be able to stand on your own 2 feet in this sort of content.
Showcasing a character's charm isn't just about mindlessly beating up their stats.
Send this to HSR, send this to Honkai, send this to Genshin. Take notes, other gacha games, please. Please. And I think they're showing Corrin because people like Corrin and her chainsaw gameplay style. I think probably one thing that they might end up doing is they might end up taking some of like the Hollow Zero aspects and whatnot, the character aspects, and rolling them into their normal kits. Like imagine Ellen getting the ice slash and whatnot. That would be really cool. Or Evelyn getting the auto parry, right? Stuff like that would be really cool.
While maintaining each character's unique traits.
Wait!
Mindlessly beaten up.
So she rides around on her chainsaw, that's normal. But then she throws a chainsaw blade. Oh, dude. I like this. Making Astra actually, this is what I was saying. This is exactly what I was saying. So that's probably one of Corrin's aspects in Lost Void. Astra getting her charge attack from Lost Void as well. Because right now Astra is just an EQ bot. You literally just press E, swap characters, and then you just swap between the characters constantly. And the only time Astra comes out is you force her out and then ult on her. Otherwise, she never sees the field and she just stays a ghost on the field. This actually enables her to actually be prevalent on the field and have meaningful impact outside of just her core passive. So I think that's what they're doing. They're rolling these, they're using Lost Void to test these changes to characters, and they're probably going to be rolling these Lost Void aspects into the character main kits. And I'm really looking forward to that. They're probably going to predominantly do it to characters that need it more so, like Corrin, like Astra, first and foremost, and have the other characters' aspects be rolled into their kits later on down the line when other characters come out that end up being stronger, and then these will further enhance their kits even and bring them back into relevancy. Billy, I haven't even tried Billy, but I know he's got it. That Lost Void made him absolutely cracked. So there's that too. There's another character.
Rather than just simply boosting their damage output.
Let's rewind that.
While maintaining each character's unique traits, we will strategically enhance their unique traits.
Good.
Rather than just simply boosting their damage output.
This is very good. Give them more options.
Or even rework certain skills and their effects.
Okay. Even rework
each character's experience. Besides that, we'll also consider each character's role very seriously. While strengthening the characters, we will also take into consideration their compatibility with other characters in future versions.
So that's acknowledging Astra and how much damage she did to the game. Because Astra did, at this point, irreparable damage to the game, because it's like you select your 2 characters and then you slot in Astra, pretty much. Like I'm touting right now the Sambi Trigger Pulchra full Aftershock team comp, but I'm not denying the fact that the actual best team comp right now for Ambi is Sambi Trigger Astra. And that's literally what I said in my video as well, that a more generalistic like actual best in slot team comp is the Sambi Trigger Astra or Sambi Pulchra Astra. And then if you really wanted to dive into the full like archetype game style, that you would throw Pulchra into the team instead of Astra. And so you'd have Sambi, Trigger, Pulchra, and that's what I'm doing right now. And I actually really enjoy the full Aftershock team comp. It's actually really fun. But I haven't gotten a chance to try the actual best in slot team. So I'm very, very curious about that. And we'll probably end up doing that when we do Deadly Assault later. Or just main DPS and put Caesar Astra. No, actually so the only benefit you're getting from that is invulnerability, or not invulnerability, but interruption resist with Caesar's shield, and you're getting an extra 1400 attack from the shield. But Caesar doesn't benefit at all from Astra's core passive, because Astra's core passive only affects attack, anomaly, and stun characters. Those are the only 3 archetypes of characters that actually get affected from Astra's core passive. The only thing that Caesar would really get from that is just swapping onto the field through quick assist, or perfect assist, I should say, in that case. So she doesn't get any benefit because of the fact that she's a defense character. So like in theory you could, but Caesar does not benefit at all from being in the same team as Astra. So it just doesn't make as much sense as opposed to running, you know, if we're taking Sambi in this context, instead of running Sambi, Caesar, Astra, you're better off running Sambi, Trigger, Astra, because then Trigger takes advantage, gets a boost from Astra's core passive or skill and additional ability.
In terms of storytelling, we hope that our characters, even those have already been released, can showcase their own unique charm. In version 1.7, for example.
So that is the next update. It is 1.7. So it is going to go 1.7 2.0. Okay, interesting. He did pre-announce the 2.0 live stream, but that's not going to be for like another month and a half. Because we still have the 1.7 live stream, which is this Friday. Depends, we'll see.
A few scenes between Lachlan and Hugo. These interactions are...
Spoilers for story. I have not played yet. I've heard a little bit, but I haven't heard like anything. I just know something about Hugo dying, and then there was also in the creator experience server there was a Hugo boss that was like Shadow Hugo or something like that.
Crucial for the character's emotional investment in the long run. We hope that every character can find a purpose that belongs solely to them in different corners of New Area. Although it might be challenging to do this well, we'll continue to work hard to create more meaningful relationships between characters and players, or even take their bond to the next level.
What else can you tell the players? What can you tell us? What else can you tell us?
As a new team,
spill the beans.
We admittedly fell short in the earlier stage in terms of both narrative and the gameplay elements.
But you guys have made up for it very substantially by showing. Yeah, you've been showing that you've been working hard.
Incorporating feedback from proxies and optimizing our content. Thank you, proxies, for your continued patience, feedback, and support.
And keep giving feedback and support.
We will prioritize ensuring content quality and humbly continue to welcome feedback and guidance from our proxies with the utmost respect. We hope Season 2 will bring proxies a more complete and smoother experience.
I'm looking forward to
If you
Season 2.
encounter any issues with gameplay experience, we hope you will share more feedback through the official community channels.
Keep doing it. Keep doing it. They need it.
Are crucial for our future content development.
They definitely need it because they've further enacted on showing, and they've further shown that they enact on the feedback and really go out of their way to listen to players and give them what they want and what they need. Been very, very good. Yeah, the future of ZZZ is definitely looking bright. It's only getting better and better. Yeah, I freaking enjoyed that. The devs they do so much, and they really show how much they care about the game, especially with how communicative they are with their player base as well. So big up ZZZ. I'm really looking forward to not just 1.7 but 2.0 Season 2 and the future of Zenless Zone Zero. Really excited for the new story, the new areas, the new gameplay changes. Really looking forward to seeing what you guys do with new not just newer characters, but also enhancing and improving older characters and ensuring that players, you know, never feel left out if they can't keep up with the new stuff, and that players really feel incentivized to play the game and pull what they want and enjoy the game to its fullest, no matter who or what they're using. Big up ZZZ. Looking forward to the future. Huzzah.